Yeah, so I want to share you a story about a time I put a limit on being judgmental. It's easy to judge when it's not your story. It's time to be vulnerable. So earlier today, I was thinking about the concept of human nature and some prominent philosophers' argument about human nature. Philosophers like Thomas Hobbes, Niccolo Machiavelli, Friedrich Nietzsche, they kind of have similar view about the concept of human nature. They argue that human nature is selfish, human nature is brutal, human nature is in endless pursuit of power. And today I was thinking that we should add that human nature is judgmental. To be honest, I think their own concept of human nature kind of capture the fact that human nature is judgmental. But again, we need to state it explicitly that human nature is judgmental. And yeah, so back to the story. When I was an undergraduate student at Olabisi and Obanjo University, by the way, I studied philosophy. I I studied philosophy, and then I was in 300 level. I was preparing for my second semester 300 level final exam, moving to 400 level. So we prepared for the exam already. So I went to my friend's hostel to lift weights because they had a gym, a home built gym at the back of their house. So we lifted weight for a couple of hours. Then I went back to his hostel. Then we had our meal. I think we had beans and bread or beans and gari. I can't remember what accompanied the beans, but one thing for sure, we had beans. So we jumped on school bus. Then we got on campus. Then afterwards we were walking down to the examination hall again. So I asked my friend a question that why is it that people fail their exam? Why is it that people, because based on Nigerian educational system, letter grade E, 40% will get you what you're looking for. You don't have to come back for the exam. You don't have to come back for the course. 40% is more than enough. So I was asking him this question. I mean, we couldn't like provide an answer to our to our own questions. By the way, in philosophy, questions are more important than answers because you don't have different questions usually. You have different answers to to a question. Again, you have different answers to a question. So I was asking this question, and again, we couldn't get an answer to our question, and we got to the examination. Oh, you know what happened? That was the day we had our own automatic carryover. Let me repeat that. That was the day we had our own automatic carryover. We didn't even get to sit for the exam. We didn't even get to write our own name on the answered booklet. You know what happened? We thought the exam was scheduled for 3 p.m. We didn't realize the exam was scheduled for 12 p.m. So we got into the examination hall around 2:45 ish. And then we walked up to the examiner and we tried to negotiate with them that just give us 15 minutes. 15 minutes will get us E. We'll be able to write something on our answer booklet, and we were pretty sure that 15 minutes will get us E, 40%. And they said no. Even though that 40% would kind of like like affect our grade negatively, we didn't care that much. We didn't want to come back for the course. And they said no. And that day got me thinking. Was I depressed? Maybe I was depressed. I was shocked. So more like I don't know how to describe the feeling. But that very day marked the day I put a limit to how I judge people. Good thing that eventually I didn't finish the bachelor's degree with a bad grade. I was able to secure a scholarship with the same bachelor's degree for my master's program in Canada. And even during my master's program, I had another experience with another colleague, but this time around it wasn't about academics, it was about finance. So this one is maybe I'll make a different videos about this one, and we'll talk about it. I'll bring the colleague, the friend involved. I'll bring him on the channel, and we'll both sit down and talk about this issue, this experience, and how it shaped me. But trust me, the experience shaped me in a different way. But trust me, the experience broke me. But the most important part is that I rebuilt myself. And like I said earlier, hopefully I'll be able to bring the colleague involved on this channel so we can both like discuss about it. And maybe you can learn one or two from it. Yeah, so that's it for now, guys. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.